All this talk about Hollywood, celebrities, people making sacrifices, deals with the devil, fame. So let's talk about this. Now, remember, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always use your own discernment. I'm sharing with you the truth Spirit has shown to me. Welcome back, loves. And if you're new here, welcome to our sanctuary. And I got some background music going with you guys. It's actually super windy here, so apologies. Okay, so deals with the devil. Are they real? The answer is yes, but not in the way the movies show us or the way most of us were taught. Okay. So then there isn't just a red man with horns and a pitchfork sitting somewhere handing out fame contracts. But there is dark energy, distorted energy, evil, and people, of course, can align with that. Because if God, source, spirit, whatever name you choose to use here, can move through people, then darkness can move through people too, of course, right? Polarity. Not because every person who makes a bad choice is evil or the devil, but because people become vessels for what they keep choosing. Control can move through people, greed, cruelty, ego, the hunger for power can move through people. So when I say the devil, I'm not talking about a guy sitting on a throne somewhere in flames. I'm talking about an energy, a consciousness, a distortion, something that feeds on fear, separation, power, control, and disconnection from truth and source. So when people talk about deals with the devil, they're not always right, but they're not always wrong either. Sometimes, of course, it's exaggerated. We know that. But sometimes they're talking spiritual truth as well. Because there may not be a physical contract signed in blood. Maybe some people do that. But people absolutely make exchanges. They trade their integrity for power, their truth for influence, their voice for access, their soul's path for fame, money, validation, or even control. And for most people, that's what it comes down to, right? Money, access, status, power, being seen, chosen, thinking they're untouchable. They want the reward without asking what the reward is attached to. And when someone does that over and over again, it can look like they've sold their soul because spiritually, not a name to some man named Satan, right? But to an energy that rewards them for separating from truth. And that's where Hollywood comes in. Because yes, there are powerful circles that understand symbolism, ritual, image, influence, energy. And yes, some people use that knowledge for manipulation instead of healing. Because if you can use it for good, you can also use it for bad, right? But the real danger isn't always some dramatic ritual in a dark room, although those things are done. Sometimes the ritual is the choice to lie, the choice to harm, the choice to betray, the choice to dehumanize others, the choice to keep climbing while stepping on people's necks. That belief becomes the ritual, becomes the altar, becomes the offering. And sacrifice, most of the time, sacrifice is not what people think. Of course, there are crazy things going out there in the world, but sometimes people sacrifice their relationships, their morals, authenticity, empathy, peace, other people's well being, all for status, money, access, or control. And that is the real currency. And let me say this too, because this part matters. Just because something can be forgiven doesn't mean it disappears. Forgiveness does not erase consequence. It does not undo the impact of what you've done. It does not rewind time. It does not restore everything that was lost. You can be forgiven and still have to live with the choices that you made, with what you created. That's not punishment. That's cause and effect. I did a video on that. That's energy balancing itself out. So no, you don't get to trade your soul for power, hurt people along the way, and then hide behind forgiveness like nothing happened. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. If you know, you know. And it's not how truth works, right? You're still responsible for what you choose to align with. Always. So yes, evil exists. Distorted energy exists. People align with it every day. But it doesn't always look like a horror movie. It looks like choices, repeated choices, intentional choices, choices that either bring you closer to truth or further away from it. And here's the part that people forget. The same thing works the other way too. You can align with truth, integrity, love, compassion, higher consciousness. You can become a vessel for spirit too. So this isn't really about one devil versus one God sitting on opposite sides of the sky. It's about what you are feeding, what you are serving, what you're allowing to move through you. Because the real question isn't just are deals with the devil real? The real question is what energy have you made a deal with? And what is it costing you? Now, if this resonated, feel free, however you feel called, to support the channel, whether liking, subscribing, sharing. All the information you need is below. And as always, I'm sending you light, love, and healing. And I hope this helped.